Hello everyone, my name is MJ Vilches, and yeah, I started early because I'm already sitting in front of my computer. So I'm not gonna wait till 9:30. I'm just gonna start the stream right now. And yeah, in this stream, we're gonna continue working on the Coiler, my entry for hashtag TUP art challenge. So yeah, welcome everyone. Welcome Haniel. Haniel's probably not here. Are you here, Haniel? Welcome Jacob. And yeah, we're gonna be working on the Coiler. I'm just gonna keep on shading. I just finished shading Luke's yesterday. It really takes a lot. I'm probably even gonna be redoing the fur. But yeah, I'm gonna try and finish shading everyone in this stream, in this part. So yeah, let's just get to it before time, before time passes too fast. So yeah, not drawing at the right layer. That's the best way to start the whole thing, with a mistake. Anyways, I'm gonna go back to the solid layers here, and I'm supposed to color on the clothes shade layer. So yeah, I'm just gonna keep on shading here. I'm not gonna be the further I go, the more I'll be too lazy to do it. I mean, I won't do it meticulously the further I go, because as you can see when I zoom in, it's already pixelating here. And if it's zoom in, I think this is how it's big. So for those characters, for the following characters here, it won't really be, it won't be visible. So I'm not gonna be too meticulous on the rest of the characters. I just need to make sure that these characters at the front here have decent enough shading. So I'm using this brush. There's a Kurita has lots of brush, and I found out that Kurita is like pronounced in different ways. There's Krita, but I always call it Kurita. But yeah, there's a bunch of brushes here. But for this, this is my favorite brush to use for like shading and other things. I just really like the texture of it. So I'm just gonna go here. This is solid. Yeah, I'm gonna keep going. I'm probably gonna, TUC Fan Week, I think, is coming up. I think Jacob knows about that, because he's on the Discord. And I think I'm gonna be streaming artworks as well, because I want to join the TUC Fan Week, and it's gonna be in this next month, I think, August. I'm gonna be joining it. I'm gonna be making artworks. On that week, during that week, and I'm probably gonna be streaming on making those artworks. So yeah, I think I'm gonna provide a link in the description below later, if you wanna, like, if you're a TUC fan and you wanna join in. So yeah, I'm just gonna quickly shade some of it here. I don't want to take too much time, because the light source is right here, the lamp, so it's gonna be so bright around this area here. And the rest will be casting shadow. So I might have changed the brush. Yeah, I'm going to change the. I changed how the brush is being. I can't uncheck it. It's weird. And I can't uncheck the speed for some reason. Okay, I'm just gonna uncheck all of that. Maybe that'll help. And let's keep going. So I'm just gonna do some shading here. That's gonna be emitting a sharper shadow. I wanna make right now I'm like dealing with soft shading, and then later I'll be doing like an anime like sharp shadows. And then shadow below the, because I don't think the Underlanders have like buttons. Probably using like laces for their clothes. I also did that on the previous artwork of Luxa and Henry, where their dress is like tied together with laces, or whatever it's called, like threads. So yeah, I'm just gonna go. I think I'm gonna be settling with that for now. Yeah, I'm gonna settle with that for now. I'm gonna keep going with Solovet's pants here. Select opaque. I'm gonna copy the name so that I can paste it on the new layer that we're gonna name as shade, because I need to separate the shading to a different layer. So I'm just gonna color it like that, because that's way down there. And that's gonna be shaded, really shaded. And I think we have a gap here on Solovet's clothes that I need to fix. Are we in the right layer though? Oh, yeah, we can't do anything for that because we have a layer selected here, and now I can close that up right there. So I think I'm gonna settle with that for Solovet. We still have a lot of things to do until the final version of this. So I'm starting from the top to the bottom layers in doing some shading here. Yeah, I'm just gonna quickly do it. And we're also gonna be coloring the spinners here, the spiders, later. So what I made Vicus wear is like this robe-like thing, like kind of how that cliche look for like people in a council, where they're wearing robes or like long dresses and stuff. So I'm just gonna, I went with that for Vicus's clothes, but yeah, like I said, their dresses, it's not really final yet. So I'm probably gonna try and apply what I learned here for the hairs, where I'm gonna be using a different brush. Where is that brush? It's gotta be right here somewhere. I think it's this one. No, not that one. Is it this one? This one? Nope. Where is it? Is it this one? I'm looking for that. No, not this one. It's probably this one. No, it's actually dots. Oh, this one. This is what I'm looking for. So I guess I'm just gonna go and do this. Make it smaller. And then I'm just gonna go ahead and brush Vicus's hair. I'm probably gonna turn off the selection here. And don't forget to make a shade layer for that. Trosy, I do hope everything's fine on the microphone's fine, I guess. So yeah, for episode 1, by the way, of the Underland project, episode 1, I'm gonna be animating the final shot of the animation later. Yeah, After that, I'm gonna be moving on to the refinement stages because there's a lot of stuff still needs refining. But yeah, I'm gonna be animating the initial animations for the final shot of the whole animated short later. So yeah, kind of excited for that. So I'm just gonna make that shade layer. I might I don't know. I really want to avoid sharing too much of the short here, so that there's no spoilers and you guys can still enjoy the final product and not, you know, not see the you know, the final, you know, not see it, not be able to predict, you know, not see like the animated short when it's still not its final form, because that kind of ruins the experience sometimes. So I'm not gonna share it too much. Although I did share, you know, a short portion of the animated short on the previous parts of this art stream. So if you want to see that, just watch those parts. I forgot which part though. But yeah, I shared like just a few portion of the animated short. So I'm just gonna go ahead and this might not be the right brush for this, but I'm gonna keep going. So there we go. Vicus's hair. Vicus's like character design is not final, and there seems to be a gap here. I need to fix that. Now I need to fix this part right here. I'm gonna go to Vicus skin and I'm gonna eyedropper the skin part here and get this and just color in here. Maybe I need to keep going. Oh, I think that's too much. Maybe like that. I need to go to Vicus's robe right here and copy that and just do this. That may not be much of a issue looking from here. Hey, MindBody, thanks for that. Thanks for the 1010, but I don't think I deserve it, or the hair shading deserves it, because my hair shading, I'm not really satisfied with that, but we're gonna be fixing that later. But thanks. Anyways, let's keep shading. Shading, I don't usually shade like this, by the way. I just do the lazy way so that I can finish it faster, but since I really don't want to do that for this artwork, I want to make it as best as I can. But yeah, it takes time to do artworks that you want them to be the best. It takes time to do artworks like that. And there are other like artists that are way better at doing this kind of stuff than me. I'm more of a 3D guy, but I do want to still do some 2D artworks every now and then. One of the main reasons is because I don't have the 3D models for these characters, but the other is to just practice. So yeah. Is everyone here like a TUC fan or something? If you are, then what's your favorite book? I mean, what's your favorite, what's your favorite book in the series? Mine would be the book 1, I think, because it's what started it all. I think if I'm gonna be rating it from if I rate the books, 1 would be at the top and book 5 will be at the bottom. And also I read book 3 first because back then I didn't have the rest of the book. I only found book 1 on a book sale or something. I found book 1 there. That was the first time I decided that I'm gonna read a book. I'm gonna pick up a book and read it. And I only read like I've only ever read like small books at that point, like really short stories, because I'm lazy. I don't want to read. But yeah, after picking up Gregor the Overlander, at that time I thought that the first book was the thickest book I can find, and I decided I'm gonna read a thick book, and that kind of started my whole love for storytelling. That's why I really am, dedicated to making like TUC fan arts, TUC adaptations and stuff, because the Underland Chronicles or Gregor the Overlander really started this whole thing of me wanting to tell stories, wanting to make stories of my own, and also loving reading. And since I'm a Filipino, the first part of the book, when Gregor pressed his forehead against the screen for so long, I didn't even understand that part, because it was talking about figuratively about Gregor's like frustration of being stuck in their house all summer, and I didn't understand that. I had to read like the book many times because I didn't. My English is not that great back then. Yeah, and yeah, the books also kind of improved my vocabulary or English speaking skills. Reading books. So I'm gonna be finalizing the shading after I after like determine like the light, like the intensity of the light. Right now the light isn't exactly doesn't look like a light, but we will make that look like a light soon. So I'm gonna move on to Vicus's skin here. I'm gonna deal with details later, so I'm gonna copy the name, Control Phi _ Shaden. Yeah, and do hope that the stream is fine. Just tell me in a chat if it isn't. And yeah, let's keep going. So one thing I'm planning to do with the shade, by the way, this is Luxa right now. Probably still need to fix a lot. I redid her whole thing, and the thing that I want to do with the face actually is I'm gonna go to Luxa's layer here. Where is it? It's the top. And one thing I want to do for the shading of the skin right here, so I want to set it to a burn, because it looks nice. It looks like, as you can see, the shading looks nice when it's set to burn here. It's not too strong, and it looks like there's like a subsurface scattering happening. And I think that's appropriate for the kind of skin that the Enderlanders have, because they have like a pale skin, and you can see through the skin. You can see their veins and stuff. So this. Yeah, the hokey pokey thing. I think it's at book 4. That was the moment that he realized that he has a crush on Luxa. And I think setting the veins to burn as well makes it look really nice. Look at that. It's like really blending into the skin there. Okay, I'm gonna leave it there for a while. Let's keep going with Vicus here. So Vicus skin shade. And let's just keep shading. And yeah, that hokey pokey part, that's kind of funny. Always imagine that. Every time I read it, I imagine Gregor doing it, and I don't know. I'm embarrassed for him, because I'm definitely not gonna be able to do stuff like that in front of people. And you have to actually dance the hokey pokey out of all the dances. That's gonna be fun when it's made into a film or an animation. I do hope that someone, or in the future, I'd be able to like really make like an adaptation of everything up to book 5, and I will see after that. But yeah, that's just, you know, a dream, I guess. And just a bit of hope that, you know, it happens. So just, this is too pixelated already. I don't think I need to be too meticulous on this part. Yeah. So there might be a long delay between me and you at your guys' side. So when you chat, I'm probably gonna be, you know, answering to it too late, because our internet is not really that fast. And I think someone's watching Netflix outside. So and I can't really tell them to not watch, because, yeah, no, we share the stuff. Anyways, I'm just gonna keep going here. So I'm planning on live streaming every day, probably. I don't know. But yeah, I'm planning to live stream every day at this hour, if I can. And it's gonna be anything. I'm gonna be live streaming on my whole, like, if I'm not working on an artwork, I'm gonna be live streaming animations, or live streaming, yeah, an animation that I'm gonna be doing for any project or other stuff. But yeah, I'm gonna be working on the Underland project for probably 3 to 4 more years until I'm really done with it. But that really depends on the performance of episode 1. Because if episode 1 doesn't go far, I might not keep going with the project. So I'm just gonna tell you guys that now. All you 5 concurrent viewers are gonna be the first one to know about that, actually. Because if episode 1 doesn't get that many views, doesn't get that many, you know, doesn't get me further, I'm probably not gonna keep going with the Underland project and move on to a different project. Because yeah, it's kind of how things go in this industry, and I think I don't really want to do it that way. But if I can't keep up doing something that not many is not watching, because I won't be able to keep doing it regardless. Because yeah, I'm not earning too much from it, and since this is a fan project, you know, I can't really sell most of the stuff. So yeah. Once again, if you do want to support me, I have a Ko-fi page. Just the link will be in the description below. But yeah, I'm gonna check if episode 1 is really gonna, you know, pay off in the end. But yeah, I'm almost done with the animations. I still need to go through refinement stages, but the final shot that I need to animate, the initial animations for, I'm gonna be animating today, like I said. It's an intense shot, but I think it's gonna be an easy one because I already prepared some walk cycle animations for the crawlers, and that shot will be needing the walk cycle animations. So did I put the shading at the proper layers? Yes, I did. Now I'm gonna keep going with the robes. I'm gonna select opaque so that just the colored parts are selected here. I'm gonna create a new layer and name it the same as the bottom one, but with shade added to it. So yeah, like I said in Doodle Log 002, episode 1, I will really see how well it will perform when I deliver it to the public. That's why I'm making sure that it's really awesome, you know, so that when it comes out, you know, it's guaranteed that it's really gonna pull people, not just, you know, to my channel, but also pull people into reading, you know, the Underland Chronicles. Contribute to tell more people about the books, I guess. To also push, you know, some companies out there. Maybe I can use even episode 1 as a way to prove myself to some companies to like produce the work. I don't know, man. We'll see. I don't want to plan ahead too much because that's just gonna leave some expectations that may or may not happen. So yeah, episode 1. It's gonna be awesome. I'm gonna make sure that it's awesome. That even if it's done by just, one guy on a laptop using free software, it's still going to look awesome. Because, that's part of the reason why I'm doing the project, to prove that it can be done. By a Filipino at that, who's expected to only, to not make the best stuff. But there are great and talented Filipinos out there. It's just that the stuff that's being brought out on, the television here, when they make like fantasy movies and stuff, the animation, the visual effects, quality, they're not really great. And I really want that to change. I mean, there are some studios or like there are like businesses. I mean, Filipino, like there's that Wonderlast Films on YouTube. They're pretty popular because they make like really great VFX videos, but they mostly do wedding videos and stuff. I want to see, original film, original stories from Filipinos, because we're kind of left behind in the film industry. I think there's not much support from the government, and there's just a lot of excuse, and most of it involves money, of course. But yeah, I really do hope that, I'd be able to contribute to change that. But right now, let's just keep making an artwork. So I'm just gonna keep coloring here. There's gonna be a really bright light close to Vicus here, so this shading shouldn't be too much, I guess. And then the last one, oh, I still need to color this part right here. Oh no, dang it. Of course. So we have Vicus here. And the last one, pants. I'm gonna copy this, create a new layer, Control V, and then I'm going to name it Shade. So yeah, don't hesitate to ask if you have any questions, by the way, about the project, about Doodle Notes or the Doodle Boat. Just, don't hesitate to ask. Yes, Mind Buddy, that kind of problem does not leave, like I said. It's just gonna keep on happening. I'm gonna keep on making that mistake throughout this stream. So I think all of the Vicus Solivate layer is done. We can now move on to Aries and Henry here. So I'm going to start from the top to bottom. So there's Aries' face. Oh, hey GulliermoGage, Williver, welcome to the stream. Yes, I'm working on the Coiler still because it's a complicated artwork. There's so many characters in it, that's why it takes so much time to draw it. I usually take 1 week for each of the artworks for the UPR challenge, but this one is taking more time because it is... there's a lot of characters. There's a lot of elements in it. Hey, thanks, Mind Buddy, for that. But then again, I still need to refine that later. So yeah, I'm gonna move on to Aries and Henry here. And yeah, by the way, Williver, GulliermoGage is one of the best people in the world for giving me support on KoFi. One of the guys who consistently give me support on KoFi. So yeah, thank you so much for that, Williver. So yeah, let's just keep going. So first, I'm gonna start from the top to bottom. Hey, Williver, you can, probably join the art challenge if you want. If you don't know, what scene to draw. I mean, do the art challenge. Do the TUP art challenge, or there's that TUC fan week coming up next month, I think. You can join that and make some fan arts. Use that as a source of idea, I guess. And yeah, the scenes that I pick sometimes, there are scenes that I've been wanting to draw fan arts with, but I keep making excuses not to do it. But since I started TUP art challenge, I kind of pushed myself to actually make the fan art. I'm gonna start shading the face here. So yeah, like I said, TUC Fan Week. I can probably try and look for the link right now. Just wait. TUC shit. So TUC Fan Week is something that, of course, the community started, and it's in Tumblr. And yeah, I'm just gonna look for it here. Here it is. I'm gonna probably link this in the chat or in the description. Yeah, this is the post. I'm gonna copy link to this. This is TUP Underline Chronicles Fandom Week. And this is a nice initiative by one of the fans of TUC, of course, and I'm planning on joining this and streaming my creation process of each of the artworks that I'm planning on making for the TUC Fan Week. So yeah, this is it. It's in Tumblr, and the link I'm gonna be pasting it in the chats, I think. So yeah, there it is. It's in Tumblr, and there's also they also have a Discord, I think, which you can find on the link that I gave. But yeah, if you want to join TUC Fan Week, you go check that out. And yeah, MindBuddy, the TUC Fan Week, I think it's not limited to creating artworks, like this kind of artwork. You can also write stories based on the prompt. You can do anything, actually, anything that is related to TUC and also related to the prompt of that day. So yeah, it's not limited to creating artworks like these. You can do whatever you want. So yeah, Williver, it's never really too late to start. Then again, time really is difficult to do. It's difficult to set a time for it, especially when you're doing something else. But yeah, it's never too late to get started. The TUP art challenge is something I started just to force myself to do it, actually, because I've been wanting to draw some fan arts, and I keep making excuses about it. So the TUP art challenge really pushed me to make these artworks. So yeah, it's not just the challenges really, then the TUC Fan Week and challenges, that kind of pushes one to really just do it. So yeah, let's keep going with this. So yeah, if you want to join the Discord server for the Underland project, by the way, the link I think is in the description. And there we can, talk more about the project, and you can probably... There are updates there. There are even VIP updates that I posted there. And yeah, Williver, you have access to that, by the way. And there are updates there that I posted. There's even previews of my current progress for each sequence of episode 1. So it's all right there. And I'm planning to like give more updates because I'm about to animate the last shot for episode 1. Like the last shot for the whole episode. Later, I'll be animating the final shot of sequence 8 and the final shot of the whole animation. I still need to undergo refinement stage, but yeah, the initial animations are done. And yeah, Williver, I did not read The Hunger Games, but I did listen to the audiobooks because I don't really own. Yeah, I don't even own. I just downloaded an audiobook in a not so legal way. But yeah, I listened to The Hunger Games. But I think that's the same thing as reading it. Yeah. Anyways, if we're technically speaking here, I did not read The Hunger Games. I listened to it. And yeah, Hunger Games is awesome. There are some really nice. I mean, the books is way better than the movies, of course, because they've got a lot of things in it for the adaptation, the movie adaptation. And even considering making adaptation of my own of the Hunger Games, but I can't. No, I'm not gonna go through that. But yeah, Hunger Games is more of a like romance kind of thing, but there's also a lot of other things, of course. Even kind of inspired me to like publish the books that I wrote when I was in high school, which is pure romance. And yeah, you can check it out on my KoFi page if you want, or in Wattpad. And yeah, I've heard about the prequel book, but I haven't read that one yet. I'm still like, I'm probably gonna end up doing it. I'm probably gonna end up reading it someday. So yeah, of course, I mean, The Hunger Games is great. It's awesome. That's why it ended up, being popular. But yeah, the Underland Chronicles can never replace. I mean, Hunger Games can never replace the Underland Chronicles in my heart. I mean, the Hunger Games. Did I say that right? The Hunger Games cannot replace the Underland Chronicles in my heart. But yeah, the Hunger Games kind of ended happily, more happy than the Underland Chronicles. It's still kind of sad though. I think the ending is still pretty sad, but it's happier than how the Underland Chronicles ended. So yeah, let's keep going here. And yeah, I can't really like sit down and read anymore because there's a lot of things I'm planning to do. I have to work on, the animations, and then I want to write my own original stories. So while working on like animation, I just listen to audiobooks. And the recent audiobook I listened to is The Hunger Games, actually. And I always listen to the Underland Chronicles like all the time. I've repeated it many times already throughout this project. And seeing details that I've like overlooked every time I re-listened to it or reread it. I sometimes read it too because I own the books, except book 3. But yeah, TUC, it's really sad. First time I read it and finished it, I felt really empty. It just ended in a huge cliffhanger. I guess that's the spoiler that I'm gonna be mentioning here. It's a huge cliffhanger ending, and that's kind of the source of why I wanted to make adaptations, wanted to make animations. It's my way of like giving myself closure or something. I don't know, man. But yeah, I. Oh, it looks like I subconsciously made a shade layer. That means I've nailed down a workflow. So yeah, I'm just gonna keep going here. I really want to finish the shading before an hour. So here's Aries, by the way, everyone's favorite, I think. And yeah, to all of you TUC, no, to all of you read TUC, just avoid spoiling stuff, especially about Aries. But that's probably gonna give anyone who haven't read it an idea. But anyways, I'm just gonna stop talking. But yeah, Aries, I think is everyone's favorite. Can't wait to model him in 3D too. That's gonna be really awesome. Yeah, I thought of that too, Williver. They're really young, and the experiences they've gone through. It's just, man, trying to imagine. I think I've read it when I was about 14 or 13. I don't know. Can't really remember. I'm going to have to try and recall it. But yeah, I'm also pretty young when I read it. I think. I don't know. I didn't even think about their age during that time, the first time I read it. But throughout rereading it, slowly dawned on me how young they are. And they've like seen many things. And gone through a lot. I think that's what Suzanne Collins always aims on her books. I mean, even Hunger Games, the characters are like young, but they are being forced into situations that are, if it's in our time, it's just too young to put them through that. They don't even have to be too young, because it's just the Hunger Games. It's just an awful thing to do to people. But yeah, I think what Suzanne Collins always emphasizes how adults, the decisions of adults sometimes put young children into these situations that, instead of keeping them away from it, adults push them into that kind of, I don't know, it's just always the suffering of children because of the decision of, I don't know, I'm just blabbing here. That's kind of what I see. There's a pattern on Susan Collins' books about children and how children suffer because of war and other things. Yeah. So yeah, we're done with Aries' fur here. I'm gonna go to Henry's layer now, because it's the next one right here. I'm gonna select opaque for this sword hilt, and I'm gonna copy the name, add a layer, Control V the name, and add shade. So I'm gonna finish all the shading of the characters. Let's see. So yeah, the Underline Chronicles, it was intended for kids, right? the target audience are children. That's kind of always the thing that, like, the conversation that always pops up on like a fan community or something. It was made for kids, but the story is just it's too mature for kids, I think. You know, all the gore, the blood, the deaths. I'm planning. I think the Underlying Chronicles will work way better as a series than a film. It is so that, you know, you're not forced. I mean, if you know, so that we can take time to like really show the journey of each character, and to really show everything in a book, as opposed to like turning it into a movie and then ending up cutting like parts of it, just like how, you know, what was her name again in Hunger Games? That the son of the mayor, I mean the daughter of the mayor, that's got one of the characters that wasn't included in the movie, but she has like a significant contribution to Katniss's like development, I think, in the book, and she even gave her the Mockingjay pin. But yeah, it would work so well as a TV series as opposed, I mean, rather than a film, so that time can be taken to really show everything that is in the book. Yeah, I was mad. I was thinking about Meg. In my mind it was Meg. But yeah, I was mad. Yeah, the Underlying Chronicles. If I'm ever gonna make like an official adaptation, it's going to be a TV series or a web series or something, so that I can really show everything. And I'm going to do it like how animes are done, where they really follow the source material. They're gonna change a bit of stuff here and there just to make it suitable for audiences, but yeah, for the Underlying Chronicles, I might not sugarcoat it, but I'm not gonna be making it too gory at first. But as you go through each book, it becomes more and more gore, because it's gonna. I just want to show how everyone just descends to this darkness. What I'm also disappointed about the adaptations of the Hunger Games is that they did not show Katniss's descent to insanity, I guess. That moment in the books where she was imprisoned in the Victory building, I think, and she just ended up going crazy there. She ended up singing, and yeah, they didn't show that, and yeah, that kind of disappointed me that part isn't included. Her descent to madness. Yeah, Williver, that's kind of what I have in mind, like doing it like that. Kind of like how they did Game of Thrones, probably, but not, you know, how they ended up with the story and stuff. I'm not gonna do that to the Underlying Chronicles if I ever make an adaptation. But yeah, like one season per book, and then I don't even care how many episodes, as long as it's a complete story. Like it really covers all of the things in the book. So I gotta make sure that the shading is in there. Yeah, that's the one thing about movies. I mean, there are movies that are. I mean, there are stories for movies that are nicely written or nicely, like, really set up so that everything is shown without things taking too long or without things seeming like it's being rushed. But I don't think the story of the Underlying Chronicles will work as a film, or as a, you know. It's gotta be a series. Hey there, Twisted Tulip. Welcome to the stream. But yeah, I'm gonna keep going here. I'm gonna now go for Henry's hair. Select that. and I'm going to rename it Henry. So there's a possibility that we're not gonna finish everything right now, like all the shading. I'm gonna keep going anyways. I'm gonna get this color right here and make this darker. Yeah, there are moments in the Underland Chronicles that has to be done right if it ever is going to be told visually. Like there are stuff where in the books, of course, that the characters are only thinking about it. They're not saying what their intent is. And as a filmmaker or you know, someone who's gonna be showing that, visualizing that, it's gotta be done right. So that those slow moments that you're talking about, Wilbur, I think, those slow moments where they're just talking, it's not boring to watch, you know, that there's really, you can really still get something from it that would contribute to the entirety of the story. So I'm gonna select Henry's clothes now. Let's just quickly brush through this. So yeah, I am out of things to say. So yeah, if you guys have any questions, by the way, regarding the Underland project or anything, just don't hesitate to ask in the chat. I will try my best to answer them. But yeah, like I said, the Underland project, I'm not sure if I'm gonna be keep on working on it for long if episode 1 doesn't really go anywhere. But yeah, I also like left a message in the Discord server about my plans for the Underland project, and Williver or anyone who is a member there, just try and read it and tell me what you think about it there, about the plans for the Underland project. Hey Williver, thanks for watching, by the way, and yeah, get some rest whenever you want. And I'm really sorry for like doing streams at this hour, at least. I mean at an hour that you guys are about to sleep. It's only like the time where I can really do stream because there's not many that's using the internet with me. But yeah, get some rest, dude. Yeah, I do live in a different time zone. Right now it's 10:13 a.m. here. So what time is it on your end? So I still really wonder why there hasn't been any adaptations made for the Underland Chronicles. But I think it's only a matter of time, though, that something will be announced about it. And I do hope they do a great job doing it. So it is reverse. Yeah, it is reversed in your end. There are others whose time is not really that. But yeah, I figured that's gonna be the case. That's why I thought that starting this at 9:30 or 10 may be a good time to do it, because I can't really wake up too early because I sleeps a bit late as well. 2113. That should be. I'm not great at 31. So that should be 8 p.m. on your time, mine. But I mean, in your end, mine, buddy. It's 8 p.m. But yeah, an adaptation of the series. I think it's only a matter of time. I'd like to do it myself, but there's probably someone who's way suited to do it or way capable of doing it than me. But yeah, I haven't really proven to you guys how I do it myself yet, because you haven't really seen the animation yet of episode 1. And even after seeing that, that's not really how it would really look if I'd want to do it. Because, I'm doing everything myself, from writing the script up to the video editing and the music. I'm not sure with the music, but I am planning to make original pieces for the music as well. So there are things that I'm probably not gonna end up doing the way I wanted to. I'm going to have to sacrifice like some of that just to be able to deliver it on time, because it's already taking so much time. But yeah, for the Underland Chronicles, I too don't want it to be too sugar coated. I think I want it to be too dialed down to a point where it just sacrifices like the intensity of the moment, or the intensity of things, because the stuff that happened to Gregor and everyone really contributed to how their characters developed throughout the books, and to dial that down also kind of not make it relevant for their growth. And that's something that I also am going to have to be very careful. But yeah, for the gore stuff, I think I'm gonna start with not too gory, and as their journey progress, it becomes darker and darker until you get to that point where someone very important goes to a place where they can never return. And I'm still very I'm still really like, I still don't really understand why Luxa and the others didn't understand that when the Bane said that they're gonna drive someone to a place where there's no return. I mean, I think the first time I read it, I also did not understand it because I was kind of young back then. And I didn't know anything about like figures of speech and stuff. But I think everyone who read it now would easily understand what the Bane meant about a place where they can never return. So yeah, I think I'm gonna end with Henry, and I'm gonna end with Henry here, and then I'm gonna end the stream. Yeah, but yeah, my buddy, I think that too. But the industry really is not like that. Like the current industry, I think, on your Netflix or other things. It really depends on the producers to make decisions like that about how gory they're gonna do things. There's like just a lot of clash of ideas when there's a lot of people involved. That's why even if you're a director and you promise to do something like that, if the producer doesn't, if the producers say otherwise, you're gonna be forced to follow the producer, because they're kind of like the money of the thing. And that's really what I wanna avoid. That's why I'm hesitant to pitch something like this to Netflix, but I think Netflix would be perfect because they do have shows that doesn't sugarcoat, and are not afraid to like show some really sensitive stuff. But still, and I think it's an animation that's not for kids, you know. It's gonna be for adults. So yeah, just gonna keep going here. I may have to... I'm gonna deal with that later. I'm gonna shade the skin now. So after this, I'm gonna end the stream. Cause it's already an hour. The guys that made Zod, that would be too gory now. I don't want the series to focus more on the gory side. I just want the gore parts, like the fight scenes and other things, the deaths. I don't want to show that just so because it's gotta be shown, but I want it to be shown in a way that it contributes to the development of the character. Because sometimes there are shows that shows too much gore. Sometimes it's even unnecessary to show it. They just do it for show, they just do it for entertainment and stuff. Then it's not really needed for the story, but they still show it. And I really want to avoid doing that. It's gotta be shown at a time where, you know, it needs to be shown because it needs to have an impact on the characters and a whole story. And people have to see what the characters are going through for them to really understand why the characters would choose to do this or that. So yeah, it's really important to have all those things have a purpose, to show them rather than to just show them for like effect or something. And Saw kind of degraded for me. I mean, I did not watch the rest of the Saw series. I mean, Saw 1 really is interesting, but after that, I mean, I think Saw 2 is good as well, but kind of forgot about it actually. It's been a long time since I've watched Saw. But yeah, I'm gonna keep going here. I'm gonna select this color. Maybe use this brush right here just to fill in the gaps here. Yeah, I'm gonna keep going here until we're finished with this thing. So the thing that I'm really looking forward about this is the post-processing. That's my favorite part of the whole thing. All this part, the shading, are tedious tasks that you just need to get done because they contribute a lot to the final piece. But yeah, looking forward to the post-processing part. I'm gonna use a line here, and probably reduce the size. I'm gonna try drawing this first. I guess that works. That works. I think the Underlying Chronicles or the series would work well as an animation, like a 3D animation. Because, you know, we're dealing with a kid here. And kids grow up. So yeah, it's gotta be a 3D animation so that the baby, Boots, remains a baby. Even until we reach book 5. That's the main reason why I want it to be a animation. Just to get rid of that limitation of like the toddler growing up throughout the production. because that's gonna be a problem. So yeah, it's gotta be a 3D animation that has a slightly realistic, like, feel to it. But that's something that I'm trying to prove with the current animations that I'm working on for the Underland Chronicles. Because I really want to, like, there's a fight scene in Game of Thrones that I really like, and that's the kind of I kind of see that as the kind of fight scene that should be in the Underland Chronicles. You know, that part where Jon Snow is with the wildlings or the free folks, and they're fighting the undeads. When he's trying to, like, convince the free folks to go down south with him because there are dead things coming to life, a dead army coming for them, and that whole fight scene there, that was a really cool fight scene, and that's the kind of fight scene that I want for the Underland Chronicles, for the battle parts. I don't want the fight scene to be too stylized as well. It's gotta be, like, kind of realistic, the fight scenes. Of course, it's not gonna be realistic because there are flying bats around. But yeah, I think it would. I think the Underland Chronicles would work as a 3D animation with a half realism and half cartoony feel to it. I do not recommend you watching Game of Thrones, by the way. It's got really mature stuff in it, especially if you're a kid, mind buddy. I do not want to be the one responsible for ruining your brain. So I do not recommend you watching it. But they have really cool fight scenes. And my only favorite story there is Jon Snow's journey. But even that, when they ended it, a lot of people didn't like Game of Thrones, like how they ended it. How the showrunners ended the whole thing. A lot of people didn't like that. But yeah, we're almost done here. Control Z that. I added a layer on a different part. So it's gotta be right here. Shade. So I might change the schedule of the live stream, but I really cannot live stream at night, at least here on my end, because a lot of people are gonna be using the internet during that time, and it's really gonna make the stream suffer. It's probably suffering right now, but well, you guys aren't complaining, so I don't think it's happening. Come on, buddy. Why would your brain be ruined by fixing cars and then drawing? So yeah, let's just quickly shade temp here. What just happened? Did I mirror it? Yes, you did. So I'm not sure about the shading here. I'm just gonna be it's gonna be a really janky drawing. A really janky shading. Yeah, I can't believe that my hand's only cramped right now. So we're almost done. Only the wings area here needs shading, and then after that I'm gonna end the stream and do the shading for the rest off camera, off recording. I still am not sure how to say it. Yeah, let's just keep going here. We're almost done, and later I'm gonna be animating the last shot of episode 1, and then move on to the refinement stages. I really do hope you like how episode 1 will turn out. The ones that I've showed are, it's not really that final yet, the rendering. It's just a preview render. But with all the lighting and all the simulation and all the everything blend in together for the final result, it's gonna look awesome. Hopefully. I will try my best to make it look great. So this is the lazy way of doing a fur shading. And we're done. Now let's move on to the rest. I'm gonna Control V this. Shade. And let's start shading. Just gonna bring down the color a bit. Because later in post-processing, this will be even more darker. Each of these colors will be more dark after applying some effects and stuff. So we'll see. Just gonna do this here. This will be getting that light. And then doing that. So yeah, the fur, I'm still gonna be working. I'm gonna be still working more on that. There's another thing I want to try out for the fur. I'm gonna end up redoing that off recording probably. But yeah, I'm just gonna make just really, because this is something that I'm probably gonna like reduce later, the shading part, because there's still a lot of shadowing thing that I still wanna add later on. So this should be the final. No, there's still the Aries Wings. Oh no, actually Aries Wings is the final layer, and then after this I'm gonna end the stream. Aries Wings shade. And I'm gonna copy this color here, make it darker. So that's kind of the workflow for the whole shading process. Just repeatedly doing that is a tedious task. Probably darker. And probably not too gray. Yeah, that's one of the things about artwork. There are things that looks like it took forever, but just amount of there's a lot of cheating in the illusion of stuff. But it actually just took a few strokes and then that's it. And I'm kind of that's the kind of thing that I always do with my artwork, because I don't want to take too much time creating artworks. Unless I really want to make it awesome, as awesome as I can. But yeah, it's one of the things I like doing stuff, making it look as if it took time, but it's just actually a simple thing. At least for me, because you know, I kind of have a background on stuff. But at first, I can't really do stuff like this before too. Just kind of like kept doing it to kind of have an eye for it. But yeah, it's not looking great. I probably need to uncheck size here, just so I have consistent. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to aim for there. And like I said, I'm just using the shading to add more detail to it, because I'm gonna show you what's gonna be the effect of that soon. But yeah, I'm just gonna go shade here, quickly doing that. I don't even. And that's it. So I'm going to try something here. We're almost, I mean, this is done. We're done with shading everything. So I'm gonna try something here. Overlay made work for that. And then I'm actually planning to just reduce the opacity of this. But for now, I'm gonna set it to normal. I'm gonna just deal with that later. But yeah, I think that's all that I'm going to do for this part. Going to get rid of the sketches for each of these guys here. Just to leave it like that. And yeah, this is our progress for the Coiler artwork. Still need lots of stuff to do. And I still need to color the spinners outside here. But yeah, this is it. This is our progress for today. I'm gonna end the stream here because it's already over an hour. But yeah, thank you so much for everyone who watched and chatted, started some conversations and stuff. And I believe I have been rickrolled back then. Yes, I have been rickrolled, I think. Many times, probably. Even that meme thing. About it, yeah. Been rickrolled many times. I think everyone have. So yeah, I'm just gonna end it here. Thank you for watching, MindBuddy. Thanks for talking and stuff. And yeah, this is it. This is the Coiler. We're still a long ways until we're done, I think. But for now, this is it. I did some quick shading. And yeah, tomorrow I'll be streaming again. And I want to be able to finish like the coloring of the spiders and all the shading by tomorrow, so that we can move on to other things for tomorrow. So yeah, that's all for now. And yeah, thanks for watching. My name is MJ Vilches, and yeah, I gotta go work on the final shot of episode 1.